Hello everybody, how are you doing? Broadcasting live from Mexico City. Today is Tuesday, January 17th, 2017. 1 a.m., 12 minutes past the hour, GMT time here. Sorry, my local time. 7 a.m., 12 minutes past the hour, GMT time. 13 minutes. Sharp. This is me, myself, Alberto Alvarado. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, it would be a great deal that you subscribe there. It's getting active, so feel free to subscribe. You go to YouTube and you type this, iiivb's Trading Room channel. This will show up my picture. You click subscribe. Hello, Katerina, how are you doing? Thanks for hosting. Hello, all the guests. Hello, guest 85. Please remember, everybody, that I appreciate if you share at least your location just to have an idea where you are visiting us from. So, well, guys and girls, as I was just saying a minute ago, it is really difficult to have something to talk about this week, since pretty much everything that we could say could be altered the next hour. We have a very important convergence in uncertainty aspects. Yesterday I was commenting that we have Brexit, we have Donald Trump taking power on Friday, we have a lot of fear. The United States is very fearful of besides the U.S. Politicians' traditional paranoia. Besides that, they are even more fearful because of the ghost and bad bear of Russia. At least that is what they think. North Korea, China. So yeah, we could have very wild swings in the markets. I don't know if you have noticed it, but we have had very erratic volume, amidst very below the average volume in trading. So that is why we're having this kind of very weird stuff. Yesterday we opened the week with a gap to the downside in cable. We're just going to check out how that is doing, just to check if it actually recovered or not. We made a quick analysis yesterday. Yesterday wasn't a typical webinar, since I was explaining and Katerina stated that I was showing off that I was in the 40th place in the trader contest. But the real thing is that yesterday I decided to talk about some different stuff, because yes, trading this week is very strange. In my live accounts, I explained yesterday that I was not trading at least my live accounts, that maybe I could continue trading the trader contest. The problem is that yes, I am in 40th place, so yeah, it wouldn't be nice just to be in the wrong side of the market and just to drop to the 100 position or something, but at least it's demo money, so it's not that big deal. In any case, that I spoiled that account again or whatever, the important thing that about the Dukascopy trading contest and all the contests in Dukascopy is explained in depth yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's webinar, I strongly suggest you that after this, after mine, you go to YouTube and look for the Dukascopy TV YouTube channel, and there you will have all the recorded webinars of all the webinars. So you can look for my yesterday's webinar, and you can check it out. I believe that it's very strange that people, when we have winners in the trading contest every month, Dukascopy television interviews the winners, and they explain more or less their approach, etc. But since most of them are only traders, and I am a webinarist because of a combination of very strange circumstances, and besides that, I love it. My circumstances allow it. So maybe I am like, I mean, if you deliver webinars every day, of course, the chance you have to explain maybe that you won or that you're doing correctly, performing nicely in a contest, maybe it is easier to explain because I am used to deliver webinars than if maybe it's my first webinar ever. Maybe I could get nervous, etc. So if you're interested in knowing my insights on the trading contest and why it really matters that you take them seriously as a learning tool, just look for yesterday's webinar in the Dukascopy TV YouTube channel. Here we have a lot of comments. Let's see if here it says, guest 85 is from Poland. You were here before. Oh, well, the thing is that we have no chance to know it unless you create a Dukascopy community account with a nickname. If not, every time that you log in, you will log as guests any number. But thanks for sharing your location. Poland, I am just curious if you could just type maybe 2 or 3 lines. I am curious about the social reaction on the American tanks on sitting on Poland now because of this fear from Russia. I really don't know your position about it, if you are pro-Russian or anti-Russian, but if you could share in some lines the real social sentiment that you have there, because some media, they said that all the Polish people were happy, and other media said the complete contrary. So maybe it would be nice to have your direct opinion on that, if you don't mind to share. Just 2 or 3 lines, not to make it a political debate here. Karina says, cool, thanks for tuning in. Do you have a community account with Dukascopy? Yes, that's what I was talking about. You can always tune in here using it. It's upper left corner in the, okay, but you will have to do that anyway. Which place you are, I am far from Bratislava, so unfortunately I try not to think bad things. Well, me, I broadcast from Mexico City. I'm located here. I was born here, and if I am lucky, I will move abroad sometime soon. But at least for the time being, I am here. In the contest, I was yesterday, if I am not wrong. Let me check and give you an update on that. I believe that I am still in the 40-something position. Let me see. 42nd position so far. But it depends on how we continue. I continue doing in the contest for the next few weeks and 2 days. Besides that, well, the only thing I can do is to try to. Yesterday I was explaining my exact approach trading this contest because I was explaining that I am not used to trade and take it seriously. But I believe, and I have always believed, that trading contests are very useful if you're learning, because of the reasons explained yesterday. So yeah, maybe and it was very nice because I started the year wanting to have better performance in the trading contest and use that as an evidence for people that there is a reason behind all the contests, all the restrictions in every contest. I searched in Dukascopy site that contest. You didn't find it? Maybe you are not looking in the FX community. Let me share you. This is the FX community page. You there can open free account, and you can use it to log in, to participate in the contests. okay, you don't have I assume you speak Polish. Do you speak any other language? Yes, 35. Besides English, of course. This is the page for just bad English. Okay. I will try to speak as clear as possible to help you understand, and all people that are not maybe good in English. But well, that's I explained. I have explained this for several years. Uh, if you want to get really serious into trading, you need to have English. That's like a no-brainer. A good English. Everything is in English. The news are delivered in English. You can have translations, but those take time. So yeah, uh, do you trade the markets or just curious about it, or have you been trading live? Well, in the meanwhile, guest 85 replies. Let me close some windows. Okay, well, you try to learn. Well, the community in Dukascopy is one of the best places you can start learning for real. Because if you go in the internet, it's plagued. You have so many sites, forums, trading services, trading signals. Most of them are a complete fraud. So here you have I mean, it's a bank in Switzerland. Dukascopy is registered and regulated as a bank. So it's way more serious than maybe trading with other using other resources. That doesn't mean that you cannot find useful information in other sites, but at least I like a lot Dukascopy. And as I was explaining, the contests are uh, really important because they make restrictions to push you to learn some certain aspects of trading. I don't know if that was the initial idea when they were designed. That they were designed actually by traders that know what matters to become profitable, and they decided to make those restrictions, or maybe other reasons to make them. But the thing is, at the end, it was a very good product. It's a very good product because me as a trader, I can tell everybody that if you learn how to trade and to win the trader contest, you're actually developing real live trading skills. Thanks for what, Kate? For all the good things about Dukascopy? Oh, I can talk about the bad things. No, don't worry, I won't. There are some few things that the Dukascopy could make them better, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's serious thing. If they are a bank, you can find a lot of trading contests with practically no restriction, and the only reasons for those trading contests to exist is maybe just to have a promo to make a marketing of it. And yeah, this is a different approach. So yeah, it's very nice, and I you know that I always recognize your work. And before, unfortunately, before Dukascopy for some reason quit delivering the whole research things that they delivered constantly every day for free. A lot of them are over since mid last year, if I'm not wrong. believe that they have their reasons to cancel them or something like that. But well, that would have been great to continue having it because at least for me, those things added value. But well, maybe not everybody was interested in continue developing that area. But well, independently from that, Dukascopy, yeah, it's a good place to start. Which one did I like the most? Well, all of them. Maybe the least that I checked was the ones related to the stock market. The commodities only I watched at times the information on gold, but all the rest are very good quality. There was a sensational one, and I couldn't believe why Dukascopy stopped delivering it. Is I don't remember the analysis on dollar, pound, yen, I believe Swiss franc also. It was like the overall. That was amazing. And at least useful. Fortunately, I have several tools in my arsenal to compensate that I don't have that information now. But yeah, it was a very good one. And that's it, market research. Yeah, it was a very complete one. I always wondered how they could deliver that for free, but well, it was a very good one. I hope that they revive them. So well, yeah, Dukascopy it's a very good place to start. You can, if you have a bad English, I believe that we don't have any kind of webinars, etc., delivered in Polish. But by any chance, maybe you speak some Russian. We have people delivering in Russian, or at least in the channel, I believe. Here it says we're planning to start releasing it again when we have a new agreement with Bloomberg. As we use their data, now we cannot use their information, but I mean, though that information was for free in the internet. A lot of, well, not a lot of it. That's yeah, I know what kind of information you're talking about, Kate. Well, it was a very good one. So hopefully, and maybe to promote it directly, not like in that hidden place. Make it like a big deal of it, marketing it in as like saying that would help a lot Dukascopy to differentiate itself from the competition. I don't know if other brokers, banks do that, but at least for the the retail traders, that is not that common. So that would be a very good differentiator. That's why we stopped it, the data and figures, the historical data. Okay. Otherwise, we would have to employ a separate person to watch and monitor every tiny movement. Oh, well, yeah, you're right about that. Well, hopefully you could have Dukascopy a new agreement with Bloomberg, because that was very useful information. Very, very nice. So, well, for all the people that are now I'm talking 30 minutes and not saying nothing about the market, so I need to keep that pace the next 30 minutes because there is nothing to talk about in the market. Well, yes, there are some things. I believe that I'm going to jump and start talking about them. First of all, let me take a picture of the British pound cable that we were talking about yesterday. Okay, here it is. Apparently, the market did in fact close the gap. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. Okay, here it is. Well, here is a chart. We were talking about a little bit the cable yesterday. This is the daily chart. We were commenting, and I speculate that some people, that a person that was leading the trading contest was maybe misfooted in pound, because after this gap, this trader dropped like 30 places or something. And this is the gap. We have a cable closing here and opening here. I was commenting that theoretically, because of all the analysis that we did yesterday, we had here the price at that time. Here was the Bollinger Band, so the price was below the Bollinger Band. It was retesting here and here, etc., etc. But that since we have a lot of uncertainty based on Brexit, we need to look back and to see the Brexit reaction. This is Brexit. This is Brexit, okay? And this is Friday, and this is Brexit after weekend after Brexit. So we had this gap. The price actually stabilized in the 133, that is here, and moved up and never closed the gap. So since this gap was Brexit related, betting blindly that this was meant to be closed, this gap, was like gambling or like playing with fire. But well, yes, apparently the markets found a way to close the gap. Thing that is good, because as I explained before Brexit, after Brexit, all these movements, having this gap not being able to close means that the market will eventually try to close it again, So the only way a market feels comfortable, imagine that living with a gap overall in the dailies or weeklies, because this gap is a weekly gap also, and it was not closed. So the markets don't feel comfortable living with an unclosed gap. It's like walking with a stone in your feet, in your shoe. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's like if something was not right. So at some time, the markets, maybe next year, maybe tomorrow, who knows, will find the very best excuse to close it, maybe just to reverse it again. So having a gap not being to be closed won't allow the markets to really move freely. Because I can bet you there are tons of traders, tons of investment bankers, tons of hedge funds, all the time, all the days, remembering this. Cable gap was not closed after Brexit. It was closed in GEPI, that is the pound versus the Japanese yen. Yes, it was closed there. I believe that in Euro Swiss it was closed. I believe. I don't remember. But the most important is cable. So as long as cable doesn't close that gap, there will be like that idea implanted in the mind of the traders, and that is not a good thing. Because maybe at the very first sign of a real strengthening of the pound, the markets could overreact just because they are looking for an excuse to close that gap, and just after that, reverting it. So that will send even more noise to the market. And at some time, it will be very difficult to read if that was real strengthening, that movement to the upside and then to the downside was because the data was not good, or maybe it's just because it was an overreacted movement to the downside taken as an excuse to close the gap. So yeah, this gap factor will be always in the mind of all the traders, no matter what. Yeah, this is a very tiny one, so it's a good thing just to have this gap closed, because, well, it's a good thing. Here we are having, for example, after Brexit, the price stabilized in the 133 and never made it to close it. Afterwards, the market continued moving down. Now we are sitting in the 120. But in this case, the market did close the gap. There is no comparison, the magnitude and the circumstances. But yeah, this could be like, okay, maybe the pound could start moving up. The problem is that hard Brexit, something that really spooks the market. But whether you want to accept it or not, the markets already got used to a potential hard Brexit. Here it was all confusion. We had several weeks and the market started making its mind about Brexit. So now that fears revived about having actually a hard Brexit, look at the very mild reaction. It has nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. So yeah, maybe a hard Brexit wouldn't be a good thing for the pound, but the markets maybe just got, they already expecting or knowing how to react on a hard Brexit thing that didn't happen here, because here everything was a confusion. I mean, look at this. This drop of 400 pips. Unexplained? Well, later on they explained this was caused by a trader in Japan or something like that. A thing that I don't believe, but well. And after having this sell-off here, the market made it to stabilize at these levels. Now we have this gap getting close to this low. So yeah, maybe we are kind of bottoming. But the thing that I don't like is the volume. Here is real volume. After Brexit, we had the volume increasing. But after this movement to downside, the trading volume diminished. Wait me a second, please. Okay, I am back. So, well, this is a good thing, because since we're facing this week a lot of uncertainty, because Donald Trump is actually every day proving that actually, yes, he is as mad, as crazy, as he really tried hard to demonstrate how silly and radical he could be. But the thing is that apparently he is actually that silly. So he has managed to isolate ideologically the United States already without even being the President of the United States yet, until Friday officially. He's already made a very good effort to, before being a president, receiving a message from China using the word strategic, strategic nuclear war. I mean, this guy is this dangerous. You need to be really stupid to be able, and if here is a Trump voter, I'm really sorry, but this is my opinion. And trust me, worldwide, this latest 2 weeks, 1 week of Donald Trump opening his mouth, it's a complete disaster. During decades and overall after the Soviet Union collapsed, if I am not wrong, officially we never had, nor the president of Russia, well, yes, at some years ago, Russia said through not Vladimir Putin, was the other one, Dmitry Medvedev or something like that. That yes, there's always the option of using strategic arsenal. I mean, we have tensions between Russia. That's it, Medvedev. Yeah. We always have the tensions building up. But the thing is that Donald Trump managed to spoil all the foreign policy with China and receive a response of this magnitude. So we are really facing tough times. Actually, yes, people believe that it was all demagogy about this. The problem with Donald Trump is that if he really believes that he can fix the huge problems of the United States by threatening others, he is doomed. And the worst thing of that is that he will be spoiling the whole world in the process. He already threatened Ford, General Motors, Toyota, BMW, that if they dare to build a factory in Mexico to build cars that afterwards are going to be sold in the United States, they will face a tax of 35%. Okay. So the next question is this guy on drugs or something? What is he going to do next? If you have American workers building cars, they will want to be paid as American workers, right? Not as Mexican workers. So what's next when that car built proudly in America hit the markets with a 20-30% overprice? How he's going to fix that problem then? To make to give subsidies, to precisely start doing all the things that he said that spoiled the American economy, or he's going to start threatening the world, the worldwide community, that if they don't buy American-made cars, for example, they're going to have problems? I mean, this is the problem with this guy, that he really has no idea how this works, and it's amazing. It's amazing because when he shut his mouth after winning, there was like that stage of the markets maybe believing that he was moderating, etc., and then suddenly having this stupid comments. I mean, yes, you're going to generate what, 5,000 jobs, and then to whom you're going to sell those cars in the United States or the world with that overprice? He's not making any favor to Ford. Ford going to lose competitivity in the world. Who's going to buy Ford cars that, by the way, are not the best car in the world, way better than Japanese, and besides, even more expensive? Forget about it. So he's not doing anybody a favor with this kind of stupid attitude, and I believe that this really spooked the markets lately. The markets are like, oh my God, what is next? Is he really playing like if he was in a reality show still? Or is this the real Trump president? So the markets really have no idea what's next. And besides having hard Brexit uncertainty, it's not a good thing for the markets. But as we can see, maybe the markets already digested the hard Brexit thing for good. As I said once, I still believe, not because Brexit is not good or bad decision by itself. It's a good decision for the good reasons. For me, it's more than a good reason to see the mess the European Union economy has become under this leadership, under the flag of Angela Merkel. And that makes the idea of splitting the EU from the EU a good idea. Maybe if we had smarter politicians in Europe, maybe it would be a stupid idea to leave it. Okay? That's what I believe. In the current state of things, thinking of leaving the EU as a country is not a bad idea. For me, it's a good one. But okay, let's imagine that it's not a good idea, but it's not a bad idea either. When the politicians in the EU start behaving in the way they should to manage this great idea, maybe I could say, yeah, it is stupid to leave the EU. I still believe that the UK will outperform the EU zone after some years, of course. I mean, this is like having an orthodontics work. At the beginning, it hurts, and it hurts a lot. And you can imagine any kind of beauty surgery. Breast implants, Botox, abdominoplasty or something like that. All that hurts a lot. But after some time, things will pass, will be repaired, and you will have and see the good results. The idea of orthodontics work is to move the bones of the mouth that are called teeth in a different position. How hard is that? How horrible that sounds. Moving the bones of the mouth inside the mouth, and you move them. It hurts a lot. Just to put them in the right place for the right reasons, in the right way. But you need to pay the price in the beginning. I believe that Brexit is that. And it's a good decision as long as Angela Merkel EU style stop happening. As long as that doesn't happen, Brexit for me it's a better idea. And the UK is not going into flames. Everybody will have to adapt. UK will generate tons of opportunities for European Union, and for the UK also. Finally, the UK could capitalize on their very unique advantages as an economy, signing treaties, defending their very own interests with different countries, thing that the UK couldn't, while they belong to the EU, because they need to think as a bloc and not as a country. And that's a very good idea when it works. When it doesn't work like now, it's a bad idea. So the thing is that, yeah, the markets are, after months, realize that. That is why now that, hard Brexit, the markets says, okay, yes, it was unexpected to receive that overall, because before year end it was the gossip that maybe we could have a very soft Brexit. But the markets didn't panic because they already digested that Brexit is not that bad. It's not the end of the world. It was not a propaganda. It's another way to live. That's it. It's an alternative. Why should that be evil? It's an alternative. EU was an alternative before belonging to it, and now alternative is to leave it. What's the difference? So, yeah, it's going to have negative effects, positive effects, but there is a huge difference between how Brexit effects could happen and Trump effect. While Brexit is not splitting, because the UK is not splitting the EU because they are saying that the EU has no advantage. Of course, it has advantages, and they know them. But it comes a time when the advantages are outperformed by the disadvantages. And when that happens, there's no reason to continue having a deal with your partners. The idea of a deal is that you is still there when you are in profit. When you are losing money, well, what's the deal and the idea of keeping with your partners? Okay. The problem with Donald Trump, the UK wants to capitalize on their very own interest, not because they want to play protectionist. The problem with Donald Trump, and that is why the markets are. I said that at the very beginning of the year, the markets are just feeling they feel so very strange. They feel strange. They are doing some strange stuff. I mean, not unmanageable stuff, at least so far, but strange things. Like if something is just not right. Well, here it is why. It's not Brexit anymore. It's Donald Trump nonsense. It's really nonsense. I mean, not foreseeing that then the cars or what's next. He really believes he can sell the idea to American workers, I'm going to pay you like a Mexican worker? Of course, that's unrealistic. And saying the American customers that they need to buy a Ford car with an overprice of 20% just because that is patriotic, they won't do that. So the thing is how he's going to fix the consequences. We really don't know. Threatening others, threatening other companies, threatening other countries. Have no idea. Bottom line, that is why trading this week is completely nonsense. And the thing is that this week, next week, the week after, because now we have the pre-official president talking, and we see a pattern. Here there is no reason to gain legitimacy anymore because he's already elected. What he's even speaking even harder. I mean, he's just saying stupid things to China. You know what? Trump is behaving like an addicted to gambling. Those guys that in a casino say, I double every time and double every time, and this is a good one, and in this I will recover all my losses, and 90% of the times that people end up losing everything. And I am start seeing this kind of pattern in this guy. He's like, I need to double the bet because at some time I will get lucky. He's applying his lucky approach to business or his double or nothing approach into the whole American economy. I don't like this guy, of course, but I mean, I was even surprised. This guy is a billionaire. Compared to other billionaires, it's a very mediocre billionaire in respect and in comparison with other billionaires that really made fortunes during the last 8 years, while he was like, more or less the same. The thing is that he's good, is like playing checkers. He's good at playing checkers. But ruling a country is like playing a chess game. And he thinks that just because he knows how to play checkers, he most certainly knows how to play chess game. And that is stupid. It's a complete different game. And I believe that he is not even realizing that. He believes it's the same game. And there's something even worse. He has been behaving in a way with China, like again, this addicted to gambling that bets let's say Texas cards, Texas Hold'em, but you don't even bother to look your cards. You just bet. You really don't care about understanding what cards you have, what chances you have. No. You just said, I doubled the bet, without even watching the cards. Even blind. He's reflecting that he's not even interested in knowing his own hand and potentially the hands of others. When he really threats China that it's a nuclear country. China does have the possibilities of reaching not the east coast, the west coast of the United States. even the East Coast of the United States. He's just playing like, oh, is he really on drugs? Is he really not aware China capabilities of defending itself? And of course, this is not good. He's just elected. This attitude is maybe just confirming that he is as crazy as somebody thought he was. So what's next after swearing as president? The pattern is this gets worse every time. Now that he feels empowered, he feels that he can bully everybody and have things done as he wanted, like a bully. But the problem is that now there's another bully that could wipe life in the United States, so you need to have some kind of respect to that. And this is a word that he doesn't know. So why then the hell we could find reliable setups to trade? We have no idea what's going to be the next nonsense from this guy. And now imagine this guy having the nuclear power under his fingers, how empowered he could feel. If he already received received the message from China. If you really want to, and the words were more or less this, if you really believe that you can make a nuclear country like China withdraw from its own territory, you need to revise your nuclear strategy, war strategies. That was a message from China. We haven't received that serious threat, not even in words. I believe that even North Korea, even aggressive, never said these exact words to the United States. But these are the consequences of this guy nonsenses. Trading has become even more difficult than I thought. I was explaining that for the trading contest for my lab accounts, I switched this year for intraday approach because I am assuming that maybe the trading opportunities wouldn't last more than 5 days, etc. 3 days. But with this kind of clown in power, with such a power under his hands, maybe even the trading opportunities will be extinct after some hours of existing. Because we don't know what's going to be the next tweet from this guy, even being president, engaging into every single and small war against a Hollywood actress. We really don't know if at some time maybe he's just having digestive problems and he's sitting on the bathroom and he's having huge pain and he just tweets something because he's feeling in pain. Maybe he just tweets something aggressive against China. I mean, this is the kind of unpredictability of this guy. So yeah, that is why I'm talking nonsense yesterday, today, and I will do that tomorrow and the day after tomorrow until at least I was commenting some webinars before that until the markets really start feeling comfortable with Donald Trump, maybe some kind of structure will come back. The other structure is already changed because the market feels indeed different. But when you see that actually what Donald Trump is doing when he is threatening the companies, he's not threatening Mexico with this. He's threatening the stock owners of those companies because he is affecting and altering the interest of those people, the ones that own the money. So this is a very strong message from Donald Trump. Because at the end, Ford is not a person. Ford is not a guy from the United States. No. It's a public company owned by people all over the world, same as Toyota, etc. So when he throws a threat in, he's not only threatening maybe Mexican economy. Actually, he's threatening the whole capitalism, the very roots of that capitalism. So what's the next thing? If he's already done that, what's next? When the next problem arises, he will threaten whom? China, Russia, or he will threaten the American citizens? Or he will try to push people to buy American products under the threat of nuclear war or something like that. So my dream that was that after maybe some weeks, things west right now. Oh, I don't know, no new energy. Did you have a webinar now? Or was not advised? Still this thing at the top saying webinar by iiivb. So let me know if you have a webinar. I close the webinar now. I don't know. Let me check quickly. If it appears here, so you're coming back. That's good. You quit delivering webinars. Let me check it quickly, mate. Oh yes, no. Here it says in 1 hour. Yes, in 1 hour, 56 minutes. So yeah, it's in. I will close the webinar in maybe 10 minutes. I don't know if you want to take the flag from there. So well, the thing, the bottom line is that now it's a naive idea that maybe after some weeks after having this guy elected, even before swearing in, the markets could start feeling comfortable with. But after this latest threat, I can tell you that nobody in the capitalism really knows what's happening to this guy, because this guy is a billionaire. So you cannot expect this kind of nonsense from this kind of people. I mean, you can expect this from radicals, leftist radicals that have no idea how money is made in the international markets. But it's like, or maybe he's just so afraid of now having an approval of less than 40%. Even people that voted for him are regretting. Not everybody, of course, but some of them. Besides having this, that he lost actually by 3 million voting, but due to the indirect vote, he won. And now, I don't know if it's fake news or not, that there is an porno video of him with prostitutes. I don't know if that's real or not. But the thing is that I wouldn't doubt a second that this guy could have a video of that. Because this guy is so low passion guided, that of course he could have that. So maybe he's just scared. And he just double, like this casino gambling psycho, doubling up every time. The speech, the menace, the threats. As long as this happens, Donald Trump is not bringing any good for the market, for the traders. The most worrying thing is for the big ones. The ones that really move the markets and invest pension funds, etc. Because those pension funds are money for the elder, and among other kind of funds. So yeah, this is I really have no idea when we could have the markets feeling comfortable with this guy. You know what? There is no way you can transmit low confidence to others when you don't feel comfortable with yourself, when you're fighting every time at everybody. When you have this kind of negative attitude, like if something was always itching, like if at every time something needs to be wrong, always, you cannot transmit tranquility, peace, confidence to anybody. Hopefully, I hope, maybe naively, that after swearing, he will feel that he's already there and maybe he will start behaving institutional. Maybe then the markets could start feeling comfortable. If not, this could take a while. Some months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months of nonsense. Of course, we cannot be there just skipping all the trading opportunities for too many months. But at least this week, another. So I really don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe something interesting happens. Because yes, it's very difficult to try to even figure out a chance that is shareable in a webinar that qualifies to be educational and potentially profitable. Or if it's unprofitable, maybe not that bad. But the thing is that everything now is so wild that every kind of opportunity that you will find could become very bad one because of a Trump tweet. So I will try to look for opportunities tomorrow. I honestly don't believe that that will happen because, yeah, it is. Yes, mate. Yes, in the FX community, it says in that you in 50 minutes or something. So well, I will try. Well, just quickly something. But apparently, maybe we will have something about Brexit today. So by no means open something in pound today. So well, there it is. So I would like to thank everybody. Okay, thanks New Energy. No, it's way too much. I just made my hour because I always use 10 minutes at the beginning. So yeah. And besides, I'm not really having a lot of things to talk about today besides Trump. So yeah, I believe, yeah, at 7 a.m. GMT time. So I would like to thank everybody for showing up, for being around. Remember that I expect you all tomorrow at the same time, same place. And remember to trade safe, be safe. This is Alberto Alvarado, and bye-bye.